What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 49 of the Ham Podcast. I am Helmke, and I am here ready to go, everybody. I hope everybody, I know I haven't seen y'all in a couple of weeks, right? So I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope that you were fully stuffed, turkey and mash and all the good sides and everything like that. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Sorry about last week. Didn't have an episode. Actually had a death in the family, so I had to take care of some business, go make sure family's okay. But we're back, baby, and we are ready to roll. So here I am live once again, episode 49 of the Ham Podcast, because I'm a fat boy, so this is the Ham Show, baby. So we're live on Twitch, guys, live on Twitch, and we're also live on Facebook simultaneously, so come get at us, check us out, everybody. So it's been a couple of weeks, right? I haven't had a show, been a couple of weeks, but so happy to be back. A lot has happened, right? A lot in the sports world, a lot in the celebrity world. So many things have gone on, right? My Cowboys are still winning. I love it. We thrashed the Colts Sunday night. I mean, it was just amazing. Beautiful, beautiful win. Loved it. My Longhorns are coming to San Antonio, the Valero Alamo Bowl. They're going to be facing Washington. We got a big UFC this weekend. Can't wait for that. I mean, it's an amazing UFC 282. It's also the last pay-per-view of the year, right? There's one more fight card after this, but this is the last pay-per-view of the year. So we're going to talk more about that. We're going to break down the fights later. Don't want to get too far into that. So, tonight's episode, right? Before we get started, I just want to mention, guys, you see me wearing this fantastic hat, right? So if you are in the market and you are looking for a home, please reach out to Zamora Orduna Real Estate Group. You see it there for all my people on Facebook, all my people following me here live on Twitch. That's Zamora Orduna Real Estate Group. Call them, give them a ring, right? Hit them up on Facebook. If you're in the market for a house, they will help you. They will help you find exactly what you are looking for. Once again, that's Zamora Orduna Real Estate Group, guys. So today, right, I wanted to kind of dive in here and really kind of hone in on something, right? So a lot of talk has been going around, right? And it's been kind of picking up over the last, I'd say year or so, right? Maybe year to 2 years. Mental health awareness, right? And it's a big thing, right? With everybody, men, women, children, the LGBT community, non-binary, everybody, right? Mental health awareness is a big thing, right? And one of the things they always say is, reach out, talk to somebody, right? If you got stuff on your mind and you don't know how to deal with it, talk to somebody about it, right? One of the things I want to talk about tonight is that stigma that men have to be tough. Men can't reach out, right? Men have to kind of suck it up, bury it down deep, and keep pushing, right? My question is why? Why? Why do we have to, as a man, why do we have to, right? Why do we have to go and bury it down deep and kind of suck it up and keep on trucking and be strong for everybody else? Yeah, of course, we're the men and we're going to be strong, but why can't we be strong and talk about what's bothering us, right? Why can't we say, hey, I'm hurting right now, right? Emotionally, I'm hurting, right? I need to talk about this. One of the things that maybe a lot of people do realize, right? Or maybe they don't, but the suicide rate for men is 3 to 4 times higher than it is for women, right? And the reason I feel that it's 3 to 4 times higher when it comes to that suicide rate for men than compared to women is we're told not to share our feelings, right? It's frowned upon. No, you're a man. You're a man. You can't, no, you don't talk about your feelings. Oh, you got cheated on? Oh, well, right? Suck it up. You're a man. But why can't men express it, right? So just to recap what I'm talking about is mental health awareness, right? Welcome in, Campos. Welcome in. So talk about mental health awareness, and how the stigma is that men can't talk about what's bothering them emotionally, right? And what I was just mentioning is the suicide rate for men is 3 to 4 times higher than it is for women. And because for men, we don't know who to turn to talk to, right? We don't know who to reach out to, right? We reach out. Sometimes you reach out to your friends and they're like, "Oh, come on, bro. Come on, be a man. Suck it up. Don't be stupid, right? Stop being a wimp." Right? That's what you hear, right? Hell, I'm guilty of saying that in the past, right? Stop being a bitch, right? Suck it up. And I think about it now and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking, right? At that time, maybe my homie needed somebody to talk to, right? Maybe he needed. So the thing is as young men, right, we're taught so many times to, now you don't show emotion. You show emotion, you're weak, right? You show emotion, they're going to clown you. They're going to make fun of you, right? But times have changed, right? Hello, welcome in. Dominguez, welcome in to the Ham Podcast. But times have changed, right? And I think it's very important that men across the world, right, feel comfortable reaching out to their homies to talk about what's bothering them, or reach out to their parents to talk about what's bothering them, right? Me, for example, right, I was raised old school. You don't cry, right? You don't show emotion. You don't cry. Something bothers you, hey, suck it up, boy. That's what the world is. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying we need to change, that, right? I'm not saying that we need to start to feel sorry for ourselves, right, as men, and oh my God, I'm not saying that, right? Yes, we still need to be tough as men, and we still need to be able to express ourselves, but still be that tough individual, right? But think about it, right? And I'll share a little insight here, right? When I was young, right, 16 years old, my dad died, right? And I just remember hearing, hey, you got to step up. You got to be the man, right? You got to take care of your mom. You got to take care of your sister. Hearing that from everybody, right? Hearing it, from everybody. And don't get me wrong. I absolutely believe that I did have to step up and be the man. But at 16 years old, right, I didn't completely understand what that, what encompassed that, right? What came along with that being a man. But I quickly found out, right? I found out that, hey, at 16, I wake up at 6 in the morning, get dressed, go to football practice, be there by 7:15, get ready for practice at 7:30, practice till about 9 something, go to school all day, get out of school, right? Go to football practice again, right? Get out of football practice about 5:30, 5:45, go straight to work right after that, get off around 12:30, 1 in the morning, right? And then once I get off at work at 1 in the morning, back home, do homework till about 2:30, go to sleep, get up again at 6 a.m. and do it all over again, right? And I did that as 16-year-old sophomore, 17-year-old junior, 18-year-old senior. And at that time, there was nobody I could say, man, I'm done. Like, I'm worn out, right? There was nobody I could call and say, I can't do this anymore, right? Like, I need to talk to somebody. And don't get me wrong, never did I express it, right? As a young man at that time, I said, no, I got to do this, right? This is what it takes to be a man. This is what I'm going to do. But there were days where I went home and if I finally had a day off from work or something, and I just was like, how much longer can I do this, right? How much longer can I wake up at 6, go to bed at 3, wake up at 6 again, go to bed at 3 in the morning, wake up at 6, right? And still keep my grades up, still be good at football, right? Still help provide, for my mom and my sister, right? Still make sure they're safe. And there was days where I said, man, I don't know how much longer I can do this. But again, who could I have talked to, right? Because back then, you were taught, hey, you suck it up, right? That mental health awareness wasn't really a big thing back then. If I went to somebody and said that, like, hey, I'm tired, I don't know how much hey, you got to suck it up, right? You got to stop being a bitch, suck it up, and let's go. But now it's okay, right? Now we have to understand that if you're feeling like that, it's okay to go and talk to somebody. It's okay to reach out to your homies and say, man, I'm getting worn out. I don't know how much longer I can push, right? It's okay to reach out to a family member and say, as a man, I'm tired, right? I'm exhausted. I'm doing this. This is on my mind. This is my burden. This is where I'm emotionally distressed right now. Again, I'm not saying to go out there and overdo it and cry every night and everything. But yeah, sometimes you got to let it out, man. Like I said, we hold it in as men so much. Like I mentioned earlier, the suicide rate for men is 3 to 4 times higher than it is for women. And it makes perfect sense because we don't know who to reach out to. We feel like it's us against the world, right? We feel like, hey, I have to carry this burden on my shoulders. I can't go out and say, hey, I need to talk to, somebody about this, right? But we have to stop thinking like that, man. We have to. We have to put that pride to the side sometimes. And we've got to say, hey, I need to talk to somebody. I'm going to call my friend and express it, right? And as friends, if you get reached out to like that, talk to your homie. Don't tell them, stop being a bitch. You're being right. That's not going to help them, right? Because what you don't want is to wake up one day and you get a message that friend is gone. That friend took his life, or that friend, went and did something to cause his life to be taken, right? You don't want that call. You don't want that text. So as a friend, as a homie, whoever, as a cousin, as an uncle, whoever you are to that person, that man that reaches out to you, talk to them. Tell them it's okay to feel that way, right? Let them know, hey, it's okay as a man sometimes to be emotional, right? But as men, yes, we still have to carry that load, right? We still got to be the man. So that's what I'm saying, man. It's okay to express it, but at the same time, know that, hey, I still got to be a man. One of the things the other day that really chapped my heart, before I continue, again, if you're in the market for a house, go check out Zamora Orduna Real Estate Group, guys. Phenomenal group, Zamora Orduna Real Estate Group. They will make sure you get the house that you are looking for. But one of the things I saw the other day is somebody posted something on Facebook and it said, men who don't have a good job or are broke, don't have a nice car or whatever, don't deserve to go looking for love. What? We're talking about probably one of the most precious things in the world, right? One of the most precious things in the world is love, right? To love somebody or to be loved is a precious thing, right? Let's think about this. A lot of people think money's the most important. Man, if I had money, right? What if somebody came up to you and said, hey, I'm going to give you $2 million right now. I'll give you $2 million right now, but tomorrow I'm going to have to, you're going to have to die tomorrow. What are you going to do? Right? No. Time. You need more time. Time's more important than money, right? Somebody comes up to you and says, hey, I'm going to give you this $2 million, but tomorrow I'm going to go, one of your family members is going to die. No, right? You're not going to take it because you want that relationship. Relationships, family, that's more important, right? Somebody comes up to you, hey, I'm going to give you this $2 million, but you're never going to find love. You will never find your soulmate. Would you take it? No, because relationships, right? The ability to find that love is a true precious thing, right? So when everybody talks about, money, no, right? But back to the post, right? So the post is men who are broke or don't have much money or don't have a nice car don't deserve to go out and look for love. That blew my mind. 100% blew my mind. Why would somebody, is that what we live in nowadays? That and it's not just females, right? It goes a lot of ways, right? Because of course times have changed, right? You got males, females, LGBTQ, you got the non-binary, all that stuff, right? So, but this is a female who posted this. So is it come to this point now in life where that's what they're striving for? These young women are striving not necessarily for love, but I don't want to date somebody who's broke. They may treat me well, but I don't want them if they're broke. They may give me the best love in the world. And when I say love, I don't mean sex, right? I mean love, right? Yeah, they may give me the best love in the world and love me unconditionally, but they're broke. I don't want them. Hell no, right? Why should I like them, right? Or I saw this video the other day where this girl said, if your height starts with a 5, don't reach out to me. Don't try to hit on me. What? Do y'all know, like, do people know what the average height, let's just say in America is, right? The average height in America for men is 5'7". So anything over 5'7" is above average, right? So for these females to say, and the response to that, the guy goes, all right, well, if your weight starts with the 2, don't hit on me. And he got so much hate for that. Nobody said anything about the girl saying, if your height starts with the 5, don't hit on me. But when the guy said, if your weight starts with the 2, don't talk to me. And he goes, and here's the thing, you can do something about your weight. He goes, that can be worked on. We can't work on our height. That's just what we were given. So again, that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, is that stigma that men can't talk about their feelings, right? He brought out a feeling. He was hurt, so he came back with, well, if your weight starts with 2, don't reach. And then he got hate. So why is it okay for certain people or certain genders to say stuff, but the second a man comes, that's it, we're America's Most Wanted, we're done, right? We can't say it, and then if we hold it in, it bothers us, right? And it tears us up inside. And then when we finally do let it out, it's on the wrong person, right? It's when you're at a bar and you're having some drinks and somebody accidentally bumps you, and now you're being too aggressive because all of that anger that you've been holding in, because as a man, we're not allowed to express our anger, is finally coming out, and it's being unleashed at the wrong time, at the wrong person. So as men, I'm gonna say it again, as men, we need to understand that in today's day and age, it's okay to express yourself, right? With our emotions, with our feelings, right? It's not gonna make you a certain thing. It's it's not gonna make you a bitch. It's not gonna make you less weak, right? You have to be able to call somebody, whether it's a homie, an uncle, a cousin, a brother, a sister, a mom, a dad, whoever it is that you feel comfortable talking to, and you gotta feel comfortable talking about your feelings sometimes, because if you never do it, like I mentioned earlier, that suicide rate for men is 3 to 4 times higher than the suicide rate for women. Brothers, we have to stop taking our lives, and we got to start to talk about what bothers us, right? In a controlled manner, not in a yelling, not in a cursing, not in an in a controlled manner. We have to start to feel comfortable talking about what bothers us. Welcome in. We got Storm Rage 1989, baby, here on Twitch. What's going on, Helmke? Haven't seen you in a while. How are you? I am doing well. Thank you for joining the Ham Podcast. Once again, guys, I'm live on Twitch, on Facebook, simultaneously, the Ham Podcast. If you haven't followed us on Twitch, you haven't followed me, I don't know why. It's the livest show out there. I promise you. I spit nothing but facts and knowledge, baby. I do my research. But, guys, if you haven't gone to the Instagram and followed, go to _H_A_M_ podcast, or our Twitter, _Ham_podcast. You can also go back and watch all our YouTube videos on our YouTube page, the Ham Podcast. Guys, we are trying to get this thing popping. I am trying to make this Ham Podcast explode. Not for the money, right? I talk about this. It's not about the money. There's so many podcasts out there that talk about music or movies or females or this, right? You got your Andrew Tate who's talking about breaking the matrix, right? All I'm trying to do is get my voice out and heard. I've got so many thoughts in my head that I just want to let them out and let people know that, especially my men, it's okay to go out there and share your feelings, right? It's okay. If you were hurt because a girl cheated on you, talk about it. If you're hurt because you just lost a parent, talk about it. If you're hurt because one of your homies was killed, talk about it. Don't hold that shit in and let it eat you and let it consume you. Because all it's going to do is be the end to you, right? Don't let it be your end, right? So, again, everybody, for my men out there, it's okay to go and talk, all right? Express yourself every once in a while, just like the old song, express yourself, right? So, gentlemen, let's talk about this, right? Why is it that in today's day and age, it's okay, right? Okay, so Storm Rage says FOMO is one of the biggest fears, especially in the older community. And it's funny that you bring that up, Storm Rage, because when I was looking at the suicide rate, right, for men being higher, 3 to 4% higher than women, it gets even higher for men at the age of 65 and older, right? Suicide for men is higher than women, and it gets higher, even higher, for when men are 65 and older. Why? Right? How do people treat the elderly now? Oh, they're done. They're old. Put them to the side. They're just whatever, right? No. As men, we got to feel comfortable reaching out and talking to somebody. We can't continue not to be able to express ourselves, right? You got to be able to call your homie, call your relative, call your parents, whoever it is, and express, hey man, I'm bothered by this, right? This happened to me and it's just been tearing me up. Talk about it. My man out there, talk about it. But back to where I was talking about earlier, right? So that post, that girl put, if a man's broke or doesn't have a lot of money and doesn't have a nice car and whatever, he shouldn't be allowed to look for love. Fuck that. Right? Why can't a broke girl look for love? Right? Why can't a broke girl, a broke female, be allowed to go look for a baller, a sugar daddy, right? A man with money, but a man, right, can't, who maybe doesn't have the best job, and that's another thing, right? The definition of broke nowadays blows my mind, right? I had a friend of mine tell me, man, I'm broke. Like, he goes, I need to get another job. I'm broke, this and that. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with bettering yourself. But I said, let me ask you a question, man. Are your bills paid? Well, yeah, my bills are good, man. Everything's paid on time. Okay, bet. You got food in the fridge? Yeah. My fridge is good. Okay. You got gas in your car? Yeah, I'm good. Okay. What's going on, John Ward? Welcome to the Ham Podcast. Welcome in, Ruby. Welcome in, Oscar. Right? And so I said, so what's the problem? Are you mad because you can't go out to a bar, to a club? He's like, well, yeah, man, I wanted to go to that bar. Brother, just because you can't go to a bar doesn't mean you're broke. Your bills are paid, food on the table, you got gas in the car, right? Everything's taken care of. Fuck the bar. You're not broke. You're secured. You're taking care of yourself. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make more money. That's perfectly acceptable. But not because you want to, right? Don't have the mentality of, I want to make more money so I can go to the bar, right? No, it's, I want to make more money because I want a bigger house, or I want to buy land, or I want a better vehicle, or I want to provide for my kids more, right? But if you got the mentality of, hey, man, I want to go to the bar. I can't go right now because I'm broke. Maybe the priorities are wrong, right? But that's the definition of broke for a lot of people nowadays. And that's the definition of broke to a lot of these females nowadays. A lot of these females, well, if he can't take me out to this nice restaurant, that's because he's broke. No, sweetie. No, that's not the case at all. Right? If he's paying your bills, he's paying your rent's paid, your lights paid, your car note's paid, right? Your water's paid, all that good stuff. He's got food in the fridge for you. He can cook for you. You can cook for him. Why is he considered broke just because he can't take you to that nice restaurant this week? Or just because he couldn't take you to the movies this week, right? Right? Why is he considered broke because of that? And that blows my mind. So as a society, we got to get out of that mentality of going to nicer places is what sets the limit, the standard of what broke is and what's not. Because I tell you right now, I may not make the most money, but I promise you, I do not consider myself broke. I don't. My bills are paid. My car is paid. I got gas in it, right? I can drive myself to work. I got a fridge full of food. My son is taken care of. There ain't a worry in the world for me. I'll go buy my motherfucking beer at HEB and drink in my house and watch some UFC. If you follow me on TikTok, you know that's what I do on Saturday nights. But yeah, so Storm Rage 1989 says people think you aren't making that six figures. They think that they are broke. Exactly. And again, don't get me wrong. If it's six figures and you're looking to make a better life for yourself, by all means. But if it's because you just want to go out and impress that girl, the priorities are wrong. Speaking of impressing for a good price, right? For a reasonable price, if you are looking to buy a house, reach out to Zamora and Orduna Real Estate Group. Horrible. But yes, they are fantastic and they will help you find the house that you are looking for a great price. So check them out. But all right, that's enough of the serious stuff, right? We know what it is. Mental health awareness. Men, feel free to talk about your feelings sometimes. Don't bottle it up, right? We talked about it. I know I mentioned it several times, but because it was astonishing to me. The suicide rate for men is 3 to 4 times higher than it is for women. Gentlemen, we got to stop. We got to know that it's okay to talk to people, right? We got to know that it's okay to reach out. You're not alone. You're not, right? Hey, if you're a gentleman and you're watching this and you don't know who to talk to, send a private message to the Ham Podcast. I'd be more than happy to respond to you, right? More than happy to respond. If you don't know who else to reach out to the Ham Podcast on Twitch or on YouTube. Send a comment, man. Before you do something foolish, send that comment. I'll respond. I'll be the one to talk to you, right? So let's move on, right? Big UFC this weekend. Cannot wait. Huge UFC fight. UFC 282. Last pay-per-view of the year. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal. We'll get to the main event, but as you're looking, the prelims, right? It's a lot of newcomers in the early prelims, right? But the main fight of the early prelims, San Antonio native Alexander Hernandez will be taking on Billy Quarantillo. It's going to be a damn good fight, right? Alexander always starts strong, but Billy Quarantillo is known for his longevity. He's known for his stamina, his gas tank. It's fucking phenomenal, right? So it's going to be a tough fight. Can Alexander get him out of there early, or is Billy going to push the pace and ultimately win by gassing out Alexander, right? Can't wait. But you know who I'm going for. San Antonio native Alexander Hernandez. Main fight of the early prelims on the UFC this weekend, which, by the way, is taking place in Vegas. All right, let's go to the main prelims. It is stacked. You've got number 15 middleweight in the world. What's going on? Welcome to the High End Podcast. Rosemary Pena, welcome in. So, number 15 middleweight Chris Curtis is fighting Joaquin Buckley. Both of these gentlemen look to go out and put somebody's lights out. They're looking for the knockout. I can't wait. I'm actually taking Chris Curtis in this fight. Then you got Edmund Shabazian versus, you got to give me some time here, Dalcha Lugiambula, right? What's up, right? So Edmund Shabazian has left his old fight camp, right, where Ronda Rousey used to train. He's left that. Now he's training somewhere else. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he picks up. I'm actually going to take Edmund in this one by submission. Then you've got the heavyweights, right? Jairzinho Rozenstruik versus Chris Daukaus, number 9 versus number 11. Can't wait. I'm taking, man, after seeing what the Black Beast Derek Lewis did to Daukaus, I think Jairzinho can do the same thing, overwhelm Daukaus with his power. So I'm going to take Rozenstruik by knockout. And then the main fight of the prelims, the youngest UFC fighter ever. He got his contract when he was 17 a couple months ago. His parents actually had to sign to approve it. Now he's 18. He will be making his official debut against Jay Perrin. They've been talking a little smack back and forth this week leading up to the fight. I'm excited to see what happens. So you got Raul Rosas Jr., 18 years old, versus Jay Perrin. I think Raul submits Perrin, but we'll see. Then you got the main card, right? This is where it gets interesting. You got Bryce Mitchell versus Ilia Topuria. Outstanding fight, right? Ilia's very well-rounded, 12-0, undefeated, right? Fighting out of Germany, but he's a better striker than anything. Then you got Bryce Mitchell, 15-1, right? But undefeated in the UFC. He's a submission guy. So something's got to give, right? Somebody's O in the UFC must go. I'm actually going to take Bryce Mitchell by submission. I think Bryce can go out there and finish that fight, but it's going to be a good one. Then we finally get to see, knock on wood, he was supposed to fight a few months ago, pulled out with injury again, but hopefully we get to see it this time. Darren Till versus Dricus du Plessis, right, from South Africa. Darren Till from Liverpool, England, right? So very excited for this one. Two strikers, two guys who look to go out and knock each other out. I'm actually going to take Darren Till. I'm excited to see if Darren Till wrestles at all. He's been training with Hamzat for the last 2 years, so I'm excited to see if he employs any of that wrestling that he's learned. But I'm going to take Darren Till. Okay, that's my pick, Darren Till. You can't tell me otherwise. If you can't, I don't give a fuck, right? Then we got Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Alex Morono. Alex Morono is actually a late replacement. They got him to replace Robbie Lawler yesterday. Robbie Lawler had to pull out due to undisclosed injury. You know what, man? I've been back and forth with this one because Alex Morono is somebody who's known to push the pace and tire his guys out, but on short notice, I'm actually going to take Santiago Ponzinibbio. I think Santiago pulls the upset. Then, making his pay-per-view debut and his American debut for the UFC, we got Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. That's right, Paddy the Baddy versus Jared Gordon. Storm Rage says, I gotta crash out because I gotta. Okay, man, you have a good night. Thank you for joining, Storm Rage. So we got Paddy Pimblett 19-3 versus Jared Gordon 19-5. Gordon's a grinder, wrestles. He can stand up as well, but loves to grind out wins, while Paddy's that guy that looks for a finish every time. Whether it's submission or a knockout, he's always looking for a finish. He's got the reach advantage, 73-68. He's got the 1-inch height advantage. All the hype is behind Paddy Pimblett. I'm excited for this one. I'm actually going to take Paddy on this one. Paddy the Baddy's got my vote. Then our main event of the night, we've got Jan Blachowicz versus Magomed Ankalaev, right, out of Dagestan. You already know how I feel about the Dagestanis. Can't stand them. Khabib, all them punks, right? If I ever saw them, I'd fight them. Maybe I would. I don't know. But this is actually for the light heavyweight belt. Of course, we all know that Prochazka, right, was supposed to fight Glover Teixeira, defend the belt. Prochazka got injured, couldn't fight. Teixeira didn't want to fight either of these guys on late notice, so the UFC made this for the official light heavyweight belt. Jan Blachowicz, former champ. Magomed, first time fighting for the belt in the UFC, 18-1. His one loss is by submission. Blachowicz is more of a striker. I think Magomed definitely has the speed advantage. Maybe, I don't know. I think Blachowicz's power is very underrated. I think they're underrating his power compared to Magomedov, but I think Blachowicz comes out and gets this dub, man. I think he takes him down. Or no, doesn't take him down because he's a Dagestani wrestler. But I think that he can land these sneaky punches, and I think he ends up beating Magomed Ankalaev. But it's going to be a very, very interesting fight. If you're looking to buy it, it's this Saturday night, December 10th, right? December 10th, this Saturday, 9 p.m. Central is when the pay-per-view starts. 7 Central is when the prelims start. And 5 Central is when the early prelims start. I'm not even sponsored by the UFC. I just do it for the love of the game, baby. So, those are your fights this weekend. It's going to be so good, so exciting. Can't wait, right? So, before I sign off, I want to talk about a couple things. One, fucking Cowboys. This is the time of the year where we need to hold it together, right? We all know December and January is where we tend to have some letdowns. So, Cowboys, if you're watching this, I know you are, Micah and CD, keep it together. If you're watching it on Twitch or if you're watching me on Facebook, Cowboys, keep it together. Do not fucking let us down this year. We are considered the second best team in the league right now by a lot of people behind the Eagles. Keep it together, motherfuckers. We were talking about mental health and being able to talk about our feelings earlier, man. I will cry if the Cowboys lose. I will. All right. If they don't win the Super Bowl, Don't call me because I'll fucking cry. Those motherfuckers, right? But also, like I mentioned earlier, the Longhorns, Texas Longhorns, coming to the Alamo Dome for the Valero Alamo Bowl. Very excited about that as well. Can't wait. Trying to get tickets for it. We'll see, because we all know the Longhorns travel well, so a lot of their fans come from Austin, right? So hopefully I can get some tickets for that. UTSA will be playing in their bowl game. Phenomenal season for them. I had season tickets this year. It was an absolute blast going to see every home game. We tailgated. It was phenomenal. Can't wait for next year to tailgate again. Can't wait. Great times. So this weekend, everybody, if you're out partying, having a good time, stay safe, stay classy, right? You don't stay classy. Fuck it, whatever. Have a good time. But be safe, right? Gentlemen, I leave you with this lasting word. Remember, it's okay to talk about your feelings, gentlemen, right? You got to let it out every once in a while, right? Don't be another statistic. Don't be another number, all right? Other than that, guys, my last words for the night till I see you next Wednesday. Stay safe, and just remember, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all next Wednesday here at the Ham Podcast. If you want to watch any of the past episodes, go to YouTube, the Ham Podcast page. Follow us on Instagram, _H_A_M_podcast, or our Twitter, _Ham_podcast. See y'all next Wednesday. I'm out. Y'all have a great night. All right, everybody. Once again, thank y'all to all my people here live on Twitch. It's been an absolute pleasure. Storm Rage, thank you so much for joining. And I will see y'all next week. Peace.